What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon for 66 Cards, and today we're going to talk about this card deal that's gone viral from Fanatics Fest, where the Jayden Daniels 1/1 Black Prizm rookie card was sold by Roth Cards to Josh Harris, who is the owner of the Washington Commanders. But in this video, we're going to talk about this in a different way. We're going to look at this from the viewpoint of Michael Rubin and all the actions that he took along the way for this deal to happen, and why he did what he did. According to Roth Cards, he set up a meeting with Rubin Saturday morning at Fanatics Fest, and his actual goal was to get Rubin to get him in contact with Dick's Sporting Goods so that he could sell them their card and have them put the card in the Washington store, kind of like what they did with the Paul Skeens card. And so I'm going to play a clip for you here from Roth Cards' YouTube video, and I'm going to pause it at certain points just to analyze what is being said, but I'll just play it here.
What's good? Jayden's best card in existence. Yeah, we got all 5 of them. You guys posted for next collect.
So notice that Roth Cards says his best card in existence. That's important later.
I saw this.
Black XRC, the Finite, the
No,
Shimmer.
it was yesterday we posted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Love that.
We're at 2 million.
So now Roth Cards is about to talk about getting this to Dick's Sporting Goods, and look at the look on Rubin's face when he says that.
You can see him today, right?
We're gonna try to see him today, yeah.
He's here all day.
Yeah, that's the one. We gotta connect with Dick's Sporting Goods. They gotta put that in the DC.
All right, there he is. He just says Dick's Sporting Goods. Now look at Rubin's reaction when he hears it.
Flagship store.
I like that entrepreneur.
Right? Did you see that look where he said, oh, that's an idea. Let's play it again.
Flagship store.
I like.
So when you see that look on Rubin's face, you almost see the wheels turning. It's like he's like, oh, you want me to get involved? And he realizes that Roth wants him to set up a card sale. And then he says something interesting here.
I like that entrepreneurialism. It's fire.
As you can see,
So you could see he says, I like that entrepreneurialism. And what he really means is that I respect your hustle. But you can also almost see him thinking, what can I do to facilitate the sale of this card, but not to Dick's Sporting Goods, but to something that will benefit Fanatics more, because obviously he's the owner of Fanatics. Because selling a non-Fanatics card to Dick's Sporting Good doesn't do that much for Fanatics, other than generate buzz for a Dick's Sporting Goods store that's located in Washington. And like, why would Michael Rubin care about doing that, right? And so I'm gonna cut to a different clip now. It's a few hours later, and that's when someone from Fanatics calls Roth. I'm just gonna play it here.
goal. I get a text from a Fanatics worker who I'm friends with, who knows I have the fight night, and all she says is, hey, Jayden's gonna be a trade night, make sure you pull up. You know, like that's really all it was. Like Jayden's gonna be a trade night. Not knowing we're even looking for Jayden.
So I just want to say something. When you're the CEO of a large company like Michael Rubin is, you can just say vague, random things, and your team will do whatever it is to make that happen. Just a little bit about myself. I work for a very large multinational billion-dollar company, let's just say. And I guarantee you that if our CEO asks for something, everyone is going to drop whatever it is that they're doing, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So my guess, and this is a little bit conspiracy theory here from my end, my guess is that Rubin was reminded at some point during the day, maybe his assistant went over his calendar for the rest of the day, and was reminded that Josh Harris, the owner of the Commanders, was going to be at trade night as well as Jayden Daniels, and that's what it clicked for him, who he should try to get this card sold to. And so he probably maybe asked his team, hey, can you get that card hustler guy from this morning with the big Jayden Daniels card to show up at trade night? And like, that's all you need to say, and your team is like off to the races. Like Michael Mahan or whoever is emailing everyone that's at the show that works at Fanatics to see if they know who has this Jayden Daniels card. I think that's actually what happened here, and there was no way to prove that, but I truly do believe that that's what happened, because when you're the CEO of a company, you can just say these things. Like, hey, I met a guy this morning. He has a really big Jayden Daniels card. He seems like a bit of a card trader, a card hustler, a dealer, and had cameras following him around. So, like, do you guys know who that is? And then, like, your team is going to go to hell and high water to figure out who that person is. So that's that. Now we're going to go to a different clip from Josh's video here.
And then all of a sudden I get a phone call. Yo, where are you at? We're at trade night. They're looking for a big Jayden Daniels card. In that moment, I'm like, oh, here we go. Like,
similar thing here. If you know that Roth is a bit of a hustler, and I think Michael Rubin kind of realized that right from his first meeting, you know that you just need to get the word out there that, like, we're looking for a big Jayden Daniels card and it'll find him eventually, right? And I think that, again, that's similar to what happened here. And then now we go to the actual clip of Roth cards going into trade night to sell the card. And I want you to notice what is being said.
I pull it out. I hold it up. We got it. It's right here. It's right here. And then everything you guys see in the video that Fanatics posted is exactly what happened in real time. Boom. I'm holding the card up. Everybody in trade night's pointing to me. I make my way to the front of the crowd. I hand the card to somebody. They hand it to Rubin. Rubin holds the card.
All right, so he's got the best. Which card is it?
So notice there, Michael Rubin now refers to this as his best card, which is exactly what Roth cards said to him in the morning, right? So he remembered this is supposedly his best card. At the beginning of that clip, he was saying the most expensive card. As soon as he sees a Roth in the card, he's like, oh, this is his best card, supposedly, right? So his wording changed to match what Roth cards told him that morning. And so that suggests to me that, like, he remembered the meeting. He remembered Roth saying this was his best card. And the deal gets done. But, like, look at what Rubin has actually done here, right? Let's just take a step back. When Roth talked to him in the morning, Rubin would have been well within his rights to either shake his hand and move on, or to tell him to go talk to someone, maybe like Mike Mahan or whoever, and then just, like, wash his hands of the situation. Just, like, I'm not involved anymore. I think that's what a lot of people would have done in that situation. Probably a lot of other CEOs. But instead, he facilitated a card sale that does so many things. So what has he done? One, it made a viral card sale that markets the hobby as a whole. Michael Rubin's big thing is that he wants to convert sports fans into sports card fans or sports card collectors. If you're a diehard Commanders fan, there is a very good chance you saw this because it involves the star quarterback and the owner of the team. If you're an NFL fan, there's still a decent chance you saw this clip too, right? And seeing something like this will open the eyes of sports fans. And that is going to do a lot more for growing the hobby than facilitating a deal of this card between Roth cards and Dick's Sporting Goods. Like, that would not have had the same impact as facilitating this deal in front of this large audience with cameras everywhere, with Josh Harris and Jayden Daniels in the room, right? So that's the first thing. Second, it now creates more competition for these high-end cards. Before, it was like, oh, Dick's Sporting Goods, they're going to buy the big cards and they're going to put them in the stores. Now, we have, like, actual NFL owners involved. And you might be thinking, if you're in the hobby, well, who else might jump in? Is, like, famous actors, like who other athletes? Well, like, who else is going to buy these big cards, right? That's perception anyways. Whether or not that's true, it's unclear, right? Like, there's 31 other NFL owners. They might not care at all that Josh Harris has done this. But the perception is now they might, whereas before we didn't even imagine that an NFL owner would care enough to do something like this. And so when you think that someone else wants these cards, that just drives the hype and around them, and that makes you also want them more. And it's like this almost self-perpetuating cycle here to drive more desire to have these cards that he will soon have the licenses of, right? And then the third thing is, this is also amazing marketing for Fanatics Fest. It gives you huge FOMO if you're not there. I wasn't there. Watching this gave me FOMO. And it makes you think that anything can happen at Fanatics Fest if you're there. Like, anything. And I can only imagine that something like this will make more people want to go to Fanatics Fest in 2026. So all of this is happening. These three things that I just mentioned, all of this is happening from a meeting that lasted maybe 30 seconds on Saturday morning. From my perspective anyways, this is what I think actually happened, is all of this happened because of this like 30-second meeting that Roth Cards set up, and like shout out to him for like hustling to get that FaceTime with Michael Rubin. But like from this 30-second meeting that frankly I would not have had the imagination to like make it into this has happened. And to be blunt, that's why Michael Rubin is a billionaire and you and I are not. That's it. That's the video. Would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Thank you as always for listening and watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.